The big question you guys all want to know is, do I take steroids? What's good, people? So welcome to the new vlog. I guess it'll be a Q&A today for you guys, and I posted on my Instagram saying like ask me questions about fitness, health related, and also like about like videography and stuff like that when it comes to like YouTubing and filming, photography. Not so much photography, more on the video side. But yeah, so I posted those questions, so I'm gonna be answering them today. And with that being said, you guys should definitely check out my Instagram. It'll be right up here. So I pretty much post like how-to things, like how to lose weight, how to gain muscle, how to get bigger chest. So I would definitely post everything, you know, every single day. So there's always new things to learn, and it's very simplified, I guess you can say. So it's easy steps, and like I said, definitely check it out. It'll be right here. And yeah, go show some love on my Instagram, and let's get to the questions.
Alright, so question number one, what is your favorite body part to train?
I would definitely say my favorite body part to train, it used to be chest, because you know we all know that the ladies love a man's chest, right? But you'd actually not expect this from me. I love training legs just because it's so fatiguing, and like it allows me to push through my breaking point, I guess you can say. Plus it gets me really sweaty, and I love getting sweaty in the gym.
Alright, question number two, would you recommend taking pre-workout?
I would never recommend anything to take like a supplement. Like I would always say, keep it natural. So no matter what, you know, you want to get energy from, like, I guess the sun. You know, you maybe go on a jog to get some energy, wake yourself up. The only reason I say that is because like pre-workouts have a lot of caffeine and a lot of stimulants, and you don't want to get your body like used to that. You don't want to, you know, how do I say, create a tolerance for those type of substances. And especially if you're a young lifter, you know, you definitely want to try to avoid that until you get to a point where like, shit, this is way too much, like I need my pre-workout. Until you get to that point, try to stay off of it, I guess you can say.
So, how do I lose fat on my thighs?
That's actually a really good question, because I feel like this is typically more to like the women, I would say, cater to the women. But losing fat in your body, it's gonna be, there's no such thing as I guess a spot reduction. So you're gonna lose fat as you're in a caloric deficit throughout the body. So you may lose it depending on your genetics. You may lose it on your face first, which is most likely to happen, is lose fat on your face, then maybe your arms, and then legs, and then it would be like your core, like your torso area. You would start losing fat there. But yeah, a lot of it depends on genetics, so you can't really target an area to answer that question directly.
Are there specific workouts you can recommend to target the thighs?
There's a lot of workouts I would recommend to hit the thighs, but doesn't mean you're gonna lose fat in the thighs. It just means you're sculpting the muscle, so growing the muscle, which we call it hypertrophy, which is the muscle enlargement, where like I guess the muscle fascia actually gets bigger. The muscle tissue, you would say, gets bigger. And then once, let's say, to put this clearly, is as like, let's say you have a bar of soap and you put a toy inside the bar of soap. As you work out, your toy is getting bigger, and then the soap around it, you know, the more you sweat, the better their diet is, it's shrinking. So when you lose enough body fat and then you not see the sculpted toy, it's gonna look really good. So essentially that's what you want to work towards.
So, how do I get more veins?
How do you get more veins? Let's answer it pretty simple. So veins are actually between the layer of fat and the layer of muscle in your body. So they're in between. So the more muscle you have, the more the veins are gonna push up, and the less body fat you have, that means the more the veins are gonna show. So as you're decreasing in body fat and increasing in muscle, you're gonna get this vascularity look too. So,
what supplements do you take?
for supplements, I take like protein shakes, like maybe like 2 to 3 times a week if I can remember. I used to take creatine, so when I was trying to get stronger, I used to take like 3 grams of creatine before my workout. Right now I'm currently taking BCAAs from BPI, and they taste so good. I usually have like the sour candy, so I have that on deck, and it's so good. And then as far as the pre-workout, I take the BPI pre-workout. I'll have like, I guess I used to take the first form pre-workout. It's called Megawatt V2. and that was honestly really good pre-workout. It's probably the best pre-workout I've ever had in my life. But I just like, I guess the BPI tastes a little bit better, you know. But as far as like the way it actually functions and the way it makes you feel, definitely go with the First Form pre-workout.
What helps with joint pain?
Joint pain. I would say don't be a pussy. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely like I take my like omega-3, so like fish oil definitely helps the joint pain.
So why do you eat so much junk food?
I eat junk food actually a lot. I'm not gonna deny that. Like let's say for example, right now I'm having a boba like smoothie with it's coconut smoothie, I guess you can say, with boba. The reason why is actually a mental thing, is because if I restrict myself from eating this delicious food, I'm gonna go crazy. And like I'm sure you guys have done that. Like you've dieted, you know, you've said like no more soda, no more cake, no more donuts. That's where I draw the line. Like I gotta have my donuts, and it just keeps me sane, keeps me healthy, I guess you can say. So I pretty much just portion everything out, but I do make sure that like I have my dessert.
What is the first thing you do in the morning to get your mindset right?
I definitely put on like a good like motivational video. So like I would definitely recommend checking out Dr. Eric Thomas. He's really good. Inky Johnson's another one. Another one is Billy Alsbrooks. He's really good for motivational, like I guess speaking and like getting the mood set right for like getting productive and having things done throughout the day.
So, how do I lose my fupa?
So FUPA, okay, so I actually didn't know what this was when I got asked. Like I was so confused, but it pretty much is like, I guess, extra fat tissue in the upper general area. So I actually pulled it up from Urban Dictionary, and this is exactly what it said. It says the FUPA, which it sounds like it's pronounced F-U-P-A, or it's spelled F-U-P-A, but it's pronounced like F-O-O-P-A, like FUPA. And it is a multifunctional word to describe a person of larger stature with a more pronounced or padded upper genital region. So that's exactly what and I would say how to lose that. It all comes down to genetics, most likely, you know, because not everybody is gonna have that. But definitely losing body fat, I would say it works. And then just making sure like your hormone levels are, you know, all in check. Because a lot of times, like when people have like abnormal fat stores in a certain area, it could be due to like your endocrine system like being all messed up. So definitely I would always recommend checking out with a doctor, or checking it out with a doctor. And yeah, definitely start with the cardio and then having a good diet.
So, how do you feel about the keto diet?
So the keto diet, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but it pretty much is like, it's a high fat, like medium protein, like very low carbs, if not no carbs. And honestly, I don't really like it, just because like I feel like very fatigued. I feel like I have a headache sometimes. I'm very irritable, if that's the word. I'm not like, I guess I can't focus, you can say. Like I don't focus doing it, and then I feel dizzy sometimes. Nausea, I guess you can say too. Just, I don't know, maybe a little bit of like anxiety. But then I get these like crazy like sugar cravings. Like I just want to binge eat like anything, cake, donuts, especially donuts. They're always good. But yeah, just the lack of like eating those carbohydrates that your brain needs for like just even just to properly function, you know, like, and I guess move around. You know, you need those. So I definitely don't do. I don't agree with 100%. What I do is intermittent fasting, but that's for another question.
So, why do you do intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting. So I pretty much do it just because like people say like, oh, you get this like source of energy like throughout the day, like, you know, you feel really good, you wake up, you know, you won't have this food, so your body's burning all this fat, blah 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 blah. Essentially, all that, most of that is BS, I would say. But what it does do, it cuts down the amount of like time you have to eat your calories. So if I fast for 8 hours, that means I have 16 hours to eat throughout my day. So I'll have like those 3-4 meals, and I'll space them out, and I'm still getting my like 2,500 calories, you know, whatever, 2,000, 2,500 calories. Just depends on like my goal. So if I'm cutting, you know, I'm more likely like to be at 2,000 calories. If I'm bulking, I'm gonna try to aim for like 3,000 calories. So that's pretty much why I do intermittent fasting. is to cut down the amount of time that I eat, and it allows me to actually eat pretty much whatever I want because I am abstaining from consuming calories throughout my day.
So this is the question everyone has been asking. Do you use steroids?
Of course I do. No, just kidding. I actually don't use steroids. I've been lifting for 4 years.
How many times should I eat in the day in order to gain muscle?
To gain muscle, you honestly want to be in a caloric surplus. So you want to have like at least like 250 to 500 calories surplus throughout the day. So you necessarily don't have to eat like 5 times a day. You can eat 1 time a day. If like let's say your maintenance calories count is like 2,000 and you want to be like 2,500, you can only have 1 meal throughout that day and be 2,500 calories. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you eat throughout the day. It's just amount of calories.
What is your favorite form of cardio?
It's for you boys, sex. The best fucking cardio ever is sex.
I've been training for about 2 years and my arms are not growing. What can I do to get them bigger?
So if you've been training for X amount of time and like let's say you hit that plateau spot, like it's, you know how you always like hear people say like Arnold, like you gotta confuse the muscle. So what that means is pretty much like changing the way you lift in the same lift, I guess. So let's say every lift has 3 parts, which we have a concentric portion, which is like the shortening of the muscle, the isometric portion, and then we have the eccentric, which is the lengthening of the muscle. So let's say if I'm trying to grow out my arms, I do bicep curls. Take this for example. This would be my concentric, I'm shortening the muscle. My isometric, which would be like right here at the peak contraction, I'm holding it. I'm using force, but it's not getting shorter and it's not getting longer. And then as I'm coming down, that would be the eccentric portion. I'm stretching, lengthening the muscle. So what you can actually do is load up your weight, you know, and bring it up, even if you have bad form, let's say with bicep curls, and then try to do a 4-second eccentric negative. So as you're coming down, use enough force to like hold it because you won't be able to resist, and then all the way down for 4 seconds. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and 4 Mississippi. And if you do, I would say like 6 reps, 3 sets of 6 reps, your arms are gonna be burning just from that.
How long should I bulk or cut for?
That's actually a good question. I see this mistake happen all the time, especially with like all the teenage bodybuilders. So how long should you bulk for or cut for? So that would depend on the amount of training you're doing, your diet, everything. It all plays, it's all a factor, it's all variables. So let's say if you're starting as a teenage bodybuilder, you're like 16, 15, 16, 17, whatever, you're very young, I definitely would recommend bulking for a good 2 to 3 years, your first years, and try to keep it a clean bulk. This is gonna allow you to be in a caloric surplus for those 3 years or 2 to 3 years and gain as much muscle as humanly possible. So you're really gonna allow your body you're gonna put in your body in this state of growth, and it's always gonna be like, you know, you're gonna be gaining strength, you're gonna be gaining muscle size. So it's nothing but positive things, you know. And then you still want to do your cardio so you don't gain that much body fat. But when you're in a surplus, your body is not gonna be like, oh, I'm in a surplus, so I'm gonna gain strictly muscle. You're gonna gain muscle, but then you're also gonna gain fat. So you kind of want to keep a good diet and nutrition plan, just so you don't, you know, you want to reduce the amount of fat you're actually getting on your body, if that makes any sense. And that goes same thing for cutting. You don't want to cut too soon, because if you don't have any muscle, you know, what are you gonna cut? Or like any extra weight, what are you gonna cut? You know, there's really nothing. You're literally gonna be in this like state where like your body's gonna be eating itself, and then as a natural lifter, you're just gonna look like a skinny kid. I mean, I don't want to say that to like anybody, but you know, it's the truth. You know, you wanna make sure that you do have enough of like the, let's say, off season for growth, and less of that cutting season where you just look like maybe some vascularity, some definition, but you look like just like skinny kid. Well, guys, thank you very much. That was actually my first Q&A, and actually I want to post a lot more, so keep the questions coming. I'm going to be answering them. A lot of them do get repetitive, but I'm going to answer like anything that's like different that I haven't answered. the best of my ability and when I can answer them. So I just want to thank you guys everything for all the love you guys are constantly showing. And don't forget to check out my Instagram, which will be like right up here. Just to check out like how to gain muscle, how to grow your chest, you know, what to eat, how drinking affects your training. So definitely go check it out. You guys can definitely take something really good away from that. So go to my Instagram, and then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time.
I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I don't need no permission. I'm a man on a mission.
Why do you do intermediate fasting?
Intermittent?
Did I fucking say that?
Yeah.